For me personally, it was more when I found out, I was kind of like, I knew something was different about me. I just didn't know what. And I was skeptical for years. Like, I'm someone who thinks about myself quite a lot. Since I'm in my head, like all the time, it leads to like introspective thoughts. At first, it felt relieving. Like, there was issues and problems that I had, which I had no control over. And it was nice knowing like I wasn't just a bad person or I wasn't just stupid or things like that. Like the negative thoughts that do occur because of these differences. And in terms of creative aspect, at first I thought like wow, like this could be something that I can really nurture. Like being able to think differently is such a huge strength in creativity spaces. And I thought like if I can find a way to work with this, like I can do some really cool things because I've always had a little bit of an ego with creative things. Like I've always thought like I was always super creative since I was young. So with arts and stuff, I've always had this like silent ego of being like, yeah, whatever I do is it's gonna be good anyways. Like so I think that confidence as well, that it's always in you, but you just need support and like nurturing with your tutors and teachers
Yeah.
to keep reassuring you.
Yeah.
The drawbacks that come with ADHD can definitely hinder a project, especially as I'm unmedicated and it's something new as well. So there's so much that there's so much work I have to put into, to sort everything out. I think the biggest effect it has is your work schedule. It's very sporadic. Like when you feel energetic and when you feel motivated is not set. Like for most people, I think they have the routine, they have the set times, they just work. But I'm more intuitive right now. Like when I want to work, when I feel like it, I'll work. So my workflow is very different. Some days less, some days like really a lot of work, some days like nothing. And the one strength that does come with ADHD, I think, is being very good at stressful situations. So deadlines and stuff like that. Like we can just get down and just focus for like the whole day, like 12 hours, like non-stop pretty much.
Yeah.
And you can really just focus and like put all the other external stuff to the side for that set time and just really like knock it out.
And you think the pressure of a deadline helps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it probably has to do with the stress and the cortisol in your brain. Like that's the one time where you're like, you need to work. Like
Yeah.
there's no other option.
Yeah.
So you just get down and you just go on for hours. I found out that it's really hard to create routines and structure. And I've tried multiple things, not just for creative purposes, like let's say for GCSEs. Like I tried to do some neurotypical ways of working,
Yeah.
and obviously it just does not work. And I've tried a lot of methods, and I tried like stuff like the Pomodoro method and flashcards and whatever. But I just don't think there is really a set way that works for every neurodivergent. especially with ADHD. Like the way that neurotypicals work just doesn't translate very well to us. And I think that can be very hard to overcome.
Yeah. Cool.
I'd say talk a lot to people, that you're close with, to people that you've known for years, so that they can help you understand yourself better.
Yeah.
Because up to this point, you might have just been living through this lens, and the world is just completely different to how other people see it, and how they see you and how you see them. But through communication, I think like you can make the links in your head. Like you can figure things out for yourself and find out things, which is really helpful, and it grounds you. And hopefully like you don't feel isolated, because I'm sure like a lot of people diagnosed, like they have always had these feelings of being a bit different and being like a bit alienated and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's good after you get diagnosed that you try and make your connections even stronger than they were before.
Yeah.
And know that there are people there, like they just accept you for who you are, you know? In terms of creativity, I think with ADHD, I don't know how to call it. Like I call it crazy. Like
Okay. Yeah.
like your ideas, like they're so different and so like, for me, some of the ideas I have are very visceral, like raw, intuitive,
Yeah.
and it's such a like a hard-headed approach.
Yeah.
You just want this idea, and I think that you should have the skills to back it up and the confidence to just do like what you truly want to do. And then once you can push that out, I think like your project will be very good, because the idea is just so different, so unique, and if you can make it work, like it's going to work very well in the creative world.
Yeah. Okay. Um, do you think it's your friend, or is it like occasional? Do you think like sometimes it's your friend, or sometimes do you think it's like, do you ever hate it?
And I think I do definitely have feelings of hate
Yeah.
towards it at times. When people talk about ADHD, especially now, a lot of people refer it to as like a superpower. And like, sure, like it's good to be positive and have a positive outlook, but obviously like most of the world is neurotypical, and so the world is just structured to benefit or just work for neurotypical people,
Yeah.
because that's the majority. As in neurodivergent, it's just difficult to navigate this world. And so at times it can definitely feel, and it is classified as a disability, and it definitely feels like that at times.
Yeah.
But we should look at it as not us being broken or us being like yeah.
Okay.
So
That's good. No worries. Um, how much do you think the world is like? Okay, let's start with like the education. Like, how much do you think like creative education is structured for like neuronormative, like normative people?
so the structure for neurotypicals, I'd say, is to work on how they work. So how they would work is very routine based, and it's like a set amount of work, and you have to reach that requirement, and you have to brief, you have everything that you need and all the points you can get from each thing.
Yep.
And as a system, it works because it's so easy and so like applicable.
Yeah.
You can just make the requirement and just send it out to a bunch of people, and you're gonna get good quality work and the standard. But it can leave out people with incredible talents that may not enjoy some of the aspects of the brief.
Yeah.
And so they can't fully get enough points for the system, and then their work is devalued in a way.
Yeah.
So I think that's what, like, the structure of it, the different parts of the project can sometimes leave behind people.
Like if, say for example, if you could like, is there any like one thing that you wish your course did that it doesn't currently, like no, because the thing is you can't, like the issue is you can't expect like a course to change just for you, right? But is there anything that you think, like most importantly, they should adapt to change to maybe suit more neurodivergent people?
Maybe just an awareness in tutors.
Okay. Yeah.
So more broader awareness of neurodiversity, and to look out for it in students.
Yeah.
So that they can, with their words and their guidance, help like nurture towards the project.
Yeah.
Because like it's hard to communicate anyways between how we think and how they think. But if they're able to see through that and see potential, I think that's really important. And if they can accept more stranger ideas and ideas that are not typical and what most students have done before, and be less rigid in their ways, I think they could nurture some really good work out of students.
Yeah.
But also, like, there's not a lot of time, you know?
Yeah. I think that's the hard thing, because like once something's set up to then change it, it's like really hard. And like it's not that it's like unfair to ask, but I think because the thing is everyone has their own ways of working, and then for you to ask, like to ask specifically to cater to someone else's, I think, you know, like, because in my writing I was saying how like we're not helpless, you know, like we're not clueless, like we see, we're adults, we know what's happening.
Yeah.
It's just like in a conversation, just saying certain things can make us like can help so much more. Because I had a project where, you know, you had one of those students before where you ask them a question and it's like they don't answer it, they just leave you with more questions, which can help, which of course can help sometimes because then that'll lead you to more pathways. But sometimes like you just wish they gave you the fucking answer.
Yeah.
I think I had that in second year, and it was just like it slowed my project down by like a week, because like I had my idea, but I just kept questioning it because he was like, question it. I was like, okay, but it's like, what do you know? I was like, it just, I don't know, it slowed me down a lot, but I got it.
Add into that, I think clear communication is very important.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
because a lot of tutors say very important things, but behind the lines.
Yeah.
And I get that it's good to think by yourself to get to that point, but also like communication is already very difficult for me.
Yeah.
And it's hard to understand people. And I don't know if this is ADHD, like it might be something else, but like, but I do struggle. And then when they do that on top of it, and with the stress of already being in uni and like having your work reviewed, and that just adds, and like you can't even think about like what they're saying
Yeah,
properly.
exactly. Yeah.
So I would value like direct communication. Like, just tell me,
Yeah.
this is shit. Like, try this.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
try that.
definitely. Yeah. I think because obviously we didn't know how tutors have been like trained to talk to us. I think there's like a hesitation to say that. Like, but you can tell. Like, you can tell when a tutor doesn't like something.
I think that's like a dance that neurotypicals play, you know,
Yeah.
in conversation. Like, they will never say what they truly feel.
Yeah.
And I struggled with that when I was younger, because I just didn't understand the rules very well for
Yeah.
socializing. So I would just blurt out everything. Like, I'd say the meanest things. Like, people knew me for being like the kid who like roasted everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I just did. Like,
Yeah.
I always said the most like the thing that hurt the most,
Yeah.
and it was so like quick for me. Like, that's the first thing I thought immediately. I just say it.
Yeah. What's like a typical day? Like a typical day for you, like on a good day, and then we'll talk about like a bad day. Like, what would be a good day for you?
A good day is when I have something to do.
Yeah.
So if I've made commitments, I'm definitely going to fulfill them. Like, no matter what comes in my way, like, I will, if I've made the plan, I will get there no matter what. Like, recently I had a volleyball match and I had to be there at like 6:30, but I got to Waterloo Station and it was closed. Like, I stepped out, it was closed.
Yeah.
So many people, crowded. I was like, fuck. I stepped out and then I was like, what am I gonna do? So I went back into the underground station and that shit was closed as well. So I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
But it was stressful and I got there a bit late, but I thought about giving up maybe twice.
Yeah.
But like, I just thought about all the other things in my head. It was like, oh, like, I haven't been going to practice much. Like, I feel like people, like, they feel like I'm not putting enough effort into the team, stuff like that. Like, oh, how is he gonna think about me, like, if I don't turn up?
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And then that like just pushes me to just go there and be there.
Yeah.
And a good day would be like having something to do, and then once I do that thing, I just feel good, and then I can do even more things. And that's like the best day for me, like when I'm just productive and have loads of things.
Yeah. Like a bad day.
And a bad day is waking up late. You wake up late, you're like, oh, half of my day is gone.
Yeah.
And then I sit in bed and then I start just like scrolling. I just in bed. I don't want to get up. And then, yeah, I just waste time there.
Yeah.
That's like a bad day for me. Just wasting time.
Do you think like emotions wise, do you think yours has like been heightened like since you were a kid? Like, do you think you've always had like stronger emotions than others? And then like, have you learning to control that? Like, what was that like as well? Like,
it's interesting because I don't know if I was more emotional or maybe I just didn't understand my emotions.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, I think I'm very emotionally sensitive.
Okay.
Like, I can feel things a lot more deeply and care a lot more.
Yes.
Because some situations or some things people say are like meant to just be like, forget about. It's like nothing too deep.
Yeah.
But I tend to deep things too much, I think.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of anger issues, like as a child, like very, very angry. And when I got angry, it was like a switch. Like, there was no repercussions to whatever. I felt like the anger justified anything or any decision I made.
Yeah.
Like, I'd do anything. And that's how it felt.
I think, same with me. Like, I don't know, because in my writing, I was just saying, because my mom said when I was a kid, like in school, I was quite a big bully because I just thought, like, I I didn't know what I was doing. I just thought whatever I was doing, I was like, oh, I can do whatever I want. But you know, I think ADHD definitely plays into that because it's like the hyperactivity as well. It's not just about like being crazy. It's like it could also be like heightened emotions and things. I think that kind of leads me on to like, what do you think about stereotypes about it? Like, have you heard any that kind of annoy you, or do you have any opinions on stereotypes for ADHD or just neurotypical people, neurodivergent people?
Yeah. I think the biggest stereotype that I hate is like when people just don't believe in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's like how can you not have the intelligence to sit there and think that what you think is just everything in the world?
Yeah.
It's the same for everyone. Like, how can you be that close-minded about it and not have like such a broad perspective that brains are so different and everyone has a different brain?
Yeah.
And the world works like that. Everyone is slightly different. And there are people with brains that are a lot more different, such as neurodivergent people. And I just don't see how they don't understand that concept of just having a different brain and how that affects. Maybe they need to take more science lessons.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just the annoying thing is like, and the main reason I've kind of also wanted to do this project is that I've never seen a book in a shop or something like that that's just like what is ADHD? Like I don't want any like science talk, because the whole like science and statistic shit, it's like, yeah, your doctor can tell you that, but it's like, what I think people value so much more is like actual stories and like what they say, because then you can make the connections and be like, oh, this is what it really is. Because like one of the project that I did last year about like visualizing what it's like, it, I don't know. I did that. Like, I don't think it's like the best way to do it, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. Because I don't know. Like, there's books, like the books that I'm researching right now are like these massive dissertations on like there's one called Driven to Distraction, and it kind of gives you like a rundown of like, it's like a therapist has written down all these stories from people who've had ADHD and kind of talking about their experiences and the questions he asked them. But the nice thing about that book that I found was the most useful is that there was like, these was like 50 tips for people with ADHD. I was like, no other book's done that. And I was like, this is the type of thing that I want to focus on.
Yeah.
And that's why like within my writing as well, like I want it to be more personal, which is a struggle because it's like with how universities like briefs are structured, you have to write scholarly. Like if I want to write a book, then you can write a book, but to get grades, like it's not just about writing a story. But I think to get the message across, it's not about the stats and like being scholarly. I think it's about, because it's how personal it is. I think it's about like what we're doing now,
Yeah,
telling people what it's actually like.
that's true. People would be more connected and be more emotionally sprung by experiences, and they could help them relate to it and understand it way better than just like stats and stuff. Because the human experience is just something we all experience. And then if you're able to share your story about how different it is for you and stuff, then I think people will be more open to it.
And also, it's just so much more accessible. Like, talking about accessibility, it's like, would you rather like open a book that's full of like quotes and stories from people that like answer the question, or would you rather read like a 400-page fucking book about it? Like, yeah, within that book you'll find you'll find loads of things. I mean, oh, this is so good, but like, I don't know. I think talking about like inclusion, which is like a massive part of this project, it's all about like getting that information like just straight away. Because like I was speaking earlier, like just tell us straight away.
Yeah.
It's like just say it plain. Like, say for example, I don't know how much you look into because it's not really about your course, but like, let's say you walk into like a bookshop or like a I don't know, something like that. Like, what type of things catch your eye, like physically or like visually? Like, if you're talking about books.
Books. Physically, I think visually, I'd be more into something that looks different, but not like appealing.
Yeah.
So like, let's say like a really classic looking book, and
Okay.
then it's just like one of the only like classic looking books out of like all these modern ones.
Yeah.
And I'd see that first, and I'd be like, oh, this is interesting. I'll look into it. Maybe it's not interesting. I just put
Yeah.
it down, and maybe I'll go through the categories, see something.
Yeah.
But I'd say that's how my visual aspect works.
Okay.
If I see something different
So
from,
you find like the odd style.
yeah, the odd one out.
Yeah, I mean that's just the same as me. Like like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But like whenever I'm looking for inspiration, I usually look, which is not always the best thing. But I look to the past. Like I look to older books, just because I feel the way that they made, just like the way the book's made as well, just so much more care. And then I feel like that amount of care and like thought that goes into making that, I think that'll hold much more valuable information. Whereas now, the technology makes everything so much easier. So you can make an entire book pretty quickly
Yeah.
if you have all the information already. And I don't know, as much thought that goes into all these things. I think it's like, yeah, the old stuff is so much better. What's like your worst situation? Like, what would be like, say for example, we're in public or like just you're alone. Like, like what's like your worst mental situation or like physical situation that you could think about?
Well, I've been through a lot of stressful situations.
Yeah.
That I've now accepted that it's caused by ADHD,
Yeah.
and it's like reoccurring. Like always have stressful situations, and that's like the lowest point that I feel emotionally, physically, mentally. Like I'll talk about the most recent one where I had an issue with moving into the new place, and so they'd set us a date to move in, but the landlords changed it, and that fucked up my plans with the van and moving everything. So I had like 2 days to sort something out while packing up everything, and there was just a lot going on.
Yeah.
And that was like the worst time. Like I felt so stressed out, just thoughts about giving up.
Yeah.
Even though like, what am I gonna do if I give up?
Literally.
I'm gonna be fucked. But yeah, that time it was very bad. Like I felt so stupid. Like maybe I was thinking like maybe I should have sorted this out even earlier. But obviously it was out of my control still.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. But navigated through it. So,
Yeah.
like sorted something out.
Yeah.
Even though I had to spend a lot more money, like
Yeah.
it's fine. It worked out in the end.
Yeah. What do you think was like when you tried the meds? What's like the most memorable thing from that, if you can remember? Like, what was, I don't know, is there anything that stood out to you like a lot?
Yeah. Like life was just a bit different.
Yeah.
Everything was different because I felt different, and it was very interesting. My parents were in the room, and I talked so much with them. Like I was so weird. Like I don't even talk that much to them. I just felt more like, I don't know. Like this is weird.
Yeah.
Because I didn't experienced anything like that before.
Yeah.
So it was like, and it was a long time. So I'm trying to think back. The one biggest thing I still remember is like the feeling. The feeling felt like it felt calm. I felt like I was a kid. Like I felt like everything was all right. And there's like, oh, maybe it's to do with the fact that like the thoughts that were there before, like
Yeah.
all the thoughts
Yeah.
are just less,
Yeah.
or there's not much of it.
Like it's quieted. Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest reason I just felt peaceful,
Yeah.
because I think like thoughts plays such a big role in your emotions and how you feel. And if you're having so many thoughts, you're gonna constantly feel like on edge and stuff.
Yeah.
But with the meds, I was just sitting there, like just enjoying sitting there.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my experience.
I think for me, it's like the hardest thing is that like it's hard for me to talk about because I've had it for so long. You know, like it's like a part of me now. So then trying to explain to someone, oh, what is it like? It's like, well, I don't know because I've had it for so long.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, now that because it was a global shortage of it, and I've been offered for like 6 months, like, I can now answer the question.
Yeah.
Like, I think towards the end of the day, like recently, what I've been finding is that I'm so much more tired, and I don't think that's because I'm doing more. I think it's because I don't think it's because I'm physically doing it anymore. It's all mentally. Like I can sit down and work for like an entire day. And I think my brain works very hard when it's thinking, and I just don't realize it. But when I'm off the meds, like I can work for like, let's say an hour or something, and then I gotta do something else. And then I come back to it, and then I gotta do something else. Like, again, I hate the whole stereotypes like, oh, you like multiple, like, you know, your hyperactivity, you gotta do something different every 5 seconds, but it is true.
Yeah.
But then as an adult, it's like growing up, like being aware and being medicated and being off of it. It's like you kind of begin to forget. Like I forget, oh, I have ADHD. Like I forgot. It's like, why am I doing this? Like, and then it's like, oh shit, when I'm on my meds again, it's like, fuck, I can just sit and work now.
Yeah.
Because like literally, like, like the other day, I went from, I knew how to put washing on, I knew how to do dishes, and then I knew I had to also write my essay. But I started my day off with like going for a walk, because I think that helps a lot.
Yeah.
And then I came back, and then I played Xbox. I was like, why? I shouldn't be doing this, but like I wanted to start my day positive because I don't know. I think how I start my day is like a massive part of how the day continues. But yeah, then with the meds, like I can just sit and like I know exactly what to do, and everything's like quiet. Like my brain's quiet. Because also with the dosage difference, like because the dosage I think I gave you was like it's like the second highest. So I think it's quite a lot, and it really, really does quiet you down, and then makes you like you know, you can just sit and appreciate everything around you.
Word.
And like going back onto it now is like, I don't know, I just did so much work. Like it's like unbelievable. It's like if I didn't have this, I'd be like some fucking Oxford student or some shit. Like I swear, like because I can just do so much work, and it stays in my head. Because the massive issue was that, because like when I'm off my meds, it's like talking. Like if I'm talking to my tutor, I need to bring up things. Like my brain just goes blank. Like I can't remember. Like even something I did the day before, like I couldn't remember. But if I have my meds, I'm just like talking. I can just talk, and it's like everything is perfectly fine. Yeah, like the thing you said, when you can't like, yeah, you can just sit and enjoy everything. It also, I think it does also like the side effect for me, because obviously different people like you and me, but I think one of the side effects for me is that it can also make me a little bit like grumpy, or like a little bit more emotional than usual.
Yeah.
But then it also doesn't at the same time. It helps, but then also doesn't help. Like, I think the difficult thing is like separating your own personal, like how you are as a person, and then mixing that with ADHD and then medication as well. Like those three things are kind of, you question like, oh, is this just part of my character, or am I like angry all the time, or like am I just normal? Or I don't know. It's hard to work out.
Yeah. That'll be very difficult to pinpoint exactly.
Yeah.
If you're like medicated and like you have ADHD, and then it can make simple problems more like complex for you, you know, figure things out.
I guess with like real world examples, like it makes me frustrated when other people don't do things the way I do them. So like, you know, let's just say cleaning the house. Like, you know, we live with different people and different people do things differently, but it's like, I feel, you know, if I explain how to do it one way and they just don't do it, it makes you so angry. Like another thing with conversations is like, I get like physically annoyed when people don't like just get to the point. Like I said, for example, if like if Lane is showing me a TikTok and I understood the TikTok in the first 5 seconds, and then she sits and explains it to me, I'm like, please stop, because that makes you get so angry. Like, because I know, like, and it's so uncalled for. Like, there's no need for it, but that's just what I feel like.
No, I get that.
Like, it's just so I don't know. But then is that just my personality, or is that ADHD? Like, what is, like you see? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. So and you can apply that to so many things. It's like, and it makes you question like loads of things you do. But I don't know.
Yeah. I think figuring yourself out is such a long road for neurodivergence.
Yeah. Can't imagine like with people, like, because I'm pretty like, I don't want to be like just blowing out symptoms and stuff, but I'm pretty sure I'm probably slightly autistic as well, because like my obsession with how things should be is either like OCD or like some sort of autism.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it's so hard to explain. Like when I'm comfortable, and it's about the, like, it's like specific. It's about like being in a specific area, or like the temperature, or like the sound, or like the color. Like I don't know, just even with clothes, with books, with like studying music. I think music's a massive thing, because whenever I work, like I listen to like sometimes specifically like violin music, and like it sounds like so cringe, but it gets like, I forget that I'm even listening to it, and my brain just like works.
Oh shit.
It's so weird. Like, and it's like such specific music. Like I'll listen to the same like playlist over and over again until it merges into like something that's not even a playlist anymore. It's just like sound. And yeah, like on my YouTube like history, it's just like the same 5 fucking songs like on repeat, like over and over and over again. But it helps so much, especially when essay writing. I feel like it like motivates me, because if I'm listening to like something with too much vocals, or with any vocals at all, it puts me off like writing.
It might be due to like how dopamine just works differently for us.
Yeah.
And we just need like a lot more stimulants to do something, and having like something there is nice.
Yeah.
Your brain can like, it's not directly focusing on it.
Yeah.
But it's still there. And I think it pleases the brain.
Yeah.
It's like I'm doing multiple things. I'm experiencing multiple things.
Do you have anything like that like helps you focus? You listen to a lot of music. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I work, I listen to music.
Like always.
Yeah, pretty much always.
Yeah.
I can't do anything in like a silent place.
Yeah.
Anything.
That's what I was saying. Like, in my writing, I was just speaking about like when I'm working. Like my AirPods is always in. Like I don't think I'm like, sometimes I can, like when my AirPods die, I'll take them out, and if the room's quiet, I'm fine. But if there's like other shit going around, like people talking, it's like it's impossible. Like it just annoys me.
With the people talking thing, I get that a lot. Like I've caught myself finishing people's sentences a lot.
Yeah.
Recently. Like I shouldn't be doing it. Like
yeah. Like in like societal terms, it's kind of rude, you know?
Yeah, it's very rude, and I never saw it like that.
Yeah.
But then I started reading their body language and stuff, and they're just, whenever I do it, they're a bit like
Well,
Like, what's happening?
yeah.
This isn't supposed to happen right now.
Yeah.
Why are you talking?